Hello and welcome to my build guide for the Druid for leveling up to level 50 and completing the campaign as fast as possible. Just like in my rogue build from yesterday, we'll be focusing on only aspects that you can get from dungeons throughout the campaign, and we'll be focusing in this build on Earth skills and Werebear skills. I've already played this build in the server slam and I was pretty pleased by its damage output and the way it played. It was really fun to play, so that's what we'll be doing today. This will be the build, those are the skills, those are the aspects, this is the skill tree, but of course I will show you exactly how to unlock everything when you level up. Now let's start with our generator, and I would pick Stormstrike as it still is the best generator in the game. You have a 15% chance to immobilize all enemies when you hit them for 2.5 seconds. Now we pick our core skill, our main damage output, which is Pulverize, and we go to the right side because you can stun enemies for 2 seconds when you overpower them, and will be overpowering all the time. Then we head over to Wild Stormstrike to the right side to hit 2 additional targets. Now we unlocked our next category and we'll pick Earth and Bulwark. We put 1 point into that, and then we head back to our core category and we put 1 point into Heart of the Wild. But that's not what we're interested in. We want abundance to generate 18% more spirit with our generator. So that's perfect. Now we got our spirit sorted out. We've unlocked the next category, so we pick another skill. We put 1 point into Poison Creeper, and then we head back to Pulverize and put 4 points into Pulverize, so we can further increase our damage output with our main core damage dealer. So now we unlocked our next category and we go down to Trample and put 3 points into Trample to the right side, so we get 20 spirit when we cast Trample, which is on a 14-second cooldown. Now we head back to our core category and we put 3 points into Wild Impulses. Our core skills will cost 9% more spirit, but they also deal 15% more damage, which is really good. And now that we've got our spirit sorted out, we should definitely go for increased damage. Now we go back and forth, as you can see, back to the last category and we pick Boulder. We put 3 points into Boulder to the right side, so we can increase the critical strike chance of Boulder by 3% each time it deals damage. So now it's time to increase our overall critical strike chance across the build. We put 1 point into Poison Creeper and another one to the left side. So we increase the critical strike chance on enemies that are strangled by Poison Creeper by 20%. Then we go up to the core category and put 3 points into Predatory Instinct to further increase the critical strike chance against close enemies by 6%. So go ahead, and now we get some additional healing. Put 3 points into Mending. While you're in Werebear form, you receive 15% additional healing from all sources. And now we put 3 points into Neurotoxin. Poison enemies are slowed by 24%. We've unlocked the last category, and there we put 1 point into Nature's Furing. Casting an Earth skill has a 20% chance to trigger a free Storm skill of the same category. In addition, casting a Storm skill has a 20% chance to trigger a free Earth skill of the same category. So this is really good if you trigger, for example, Boulder. You can trigger a Hurricane with a 20% chance, and also if you trigger Earth and Bulwark, you have a chance to get a Cyclone armor additionally. Then we put 2 points into Earth and Bulwark to the right side, so we get 18% base life as Fortify when we cast Bulwark. Now we've got 3 passives to unlock. We put 1 point into Defiance, 1 point into Circle of Life, and the one we're really going for is Resonance. Nature magic skills deal 6% increased damage. Triple this bonus if an Earth skill is the next skill cast after a Storm skill, or a Storm skill is the next skill cast after an Earth skill, which is really good. So if we use our generator, for example, and just cast Stormstrike once, and then we use Boulder, Boulder's damage output is increased by 18%, which is really good. So what you want to do is always use a Storm skill before you use an Earth skill, and we'll be making Pulverize to an Earth skill too, You'll see that when we head over to the gear, we'll talk about that later. But Pulverize will be an Earth skill, so we will have additional 18% damage for Pulverize 2 if we use Storm Strike prior. So more damage for Earth skills is what we want, so we put 3 points into Crushing Earth, which will increase the damage of Earth skills to slowed, stunned, immobilized or knocked back enemies by 15%. And we will slow, stun, immobilize and knock back enemies all the time with Boulder, Poison, Creeper and Storm Strike. That leaves us with 1 additional point up to level 50, and we put that into Trample as it is our second most powerful damage skill. Just with like my rogue build, I will have some additional information for you where you can put your last 10 skill points if you've unlocked them. So let's check out Iron Fur. You gain 9% damage reduction while in Werebear form. This bonus persists for 3 seconds after leaving Werebear form. So this is really good for another 9% damage reduction. You can also further enhance the damage of Poison Creeper with Call of the Wild. Put it up to rank 3 and your companion skills deal 30% bonus damage, and Poison Creeper is a companion, so this is just additional damage for your skill. Another chance to deal more damage is Elemental Exposure. You get a lucky hit on your Storm skills, having 10% chance to make enemies vulnerable for 3 seconds if you put it on rank 3. And Storm Strike obviously is a Storm skill, so you can make enemies vulnerable with Storm Strike. Now you head over to Natural Disaster, put 3 points into that, and your Earth skills deal 12% increased damage to vulnerable enemies, which is really strong. But that's it. That's how I would set up this build. But like I said, the legendary aspects also play a big part in this build. So let's head over to our gear. So now let's check out the legendary aspects, and the one I was talking about before is the aspect of Ursin Horror. Pulverize is now also an Earth skill. After casting Pulverize, Tectonic Spikes continue to deal X damage over 2 seconds. I would put this in the amulet to further increase the X damage by 50%. And you can unlock this by completing Belvery Zakara in Havizar, which is the big unknown factor. We don't know when we get to Havizar during the campaign, so as soon as you get this legendary aspect, you should definitely imprint it and make Pulverize to an Earth skill, and then you can also put all the points into the passives that increase the damage of Earth skills. Next up we've got the offhand. There I put the Crash Stone aspect. Earth skills now deal 40% more critical strike damage to crowd controlled enemies, which are basically all the enemies we fight, and you can get that by progressing the campaign in Skosglen. Next up, the gloves with the aspect of the expectant. Attacking an enemy with a basic skill increases the damage of your next core skill cast by 5% and up to 30%. You unlock that by completing Underroot in Skosglen, so pretty early on in Act 2, and you should definitely get that as it further increases the damage of Pulverize. Let's head over to the chest with the aspect of the Quicksand. Damage from Earth skills slow enemies hit by 25% for 5 seconds. And you get that in the Feral's Den in Skosglen, also in Act 2, so definitely get that to slow all the enemies around you by 25% for 5 seconds. Pretty good. Next up, let's check out the aspect of the Mending Stone, which I've put on the helmet. The duration of Earthen Bulwark is increased by 6 seconds. In addition, killing an enemy with Earth skills replenishes X of your active Earthen Bulwark's barrier. So pretty good also. You get that by completing Sealed Archives in the Dry Steppes. Let's head over to the rings. We've got aspect of the Umbral. Restore one of your primary resources when you crowd control an enemy, which is all the time. And you unlock that by completing Champion's Demise in Dry Steppes. And on the other ring I've put the aspect of the Changeling Stepped. Damaging a poisoned enemy with a Werebear skill will instantly deal 120% of the poisoning damage and consume the poisoning. You unlock that by completing the Conclave in Kyrgyzstan. So there you've got it. Here are the skills, and the spirit boons are as follows. I would choose Gift of the Stag, gain 10 maximum spirit. Then I would specialize on the Eagle and choose swooping attacks for plus 10% attack speed, and Avian Wrath for multiplicative 30% critical strike damage. Next up, Energize for a lucky hit. Dealing damage has up to a 15% chance to restore 10 spirit. And the last one, Obsidian Slam. Every 10th skill will cause your next Earth skill to overpower. So that's it. That's the build. I hope you enjoy it and I hope you have fun when you level through the campaign with it. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of the build, and check out also my rogue build I've recently uploaded. You can find the link here on screen or down in the video description. If you've enjoyed this video, please show some love and leave a thumbs up, and consider subscribing to the channel for more Diablo 4 content, and activate the bell to never miss a video. I hope you all have an awesome day, and I'll catch you in the next one.